In layman's language, contract means an agreement between two persons to do or not to do a particular act. This means that two parties which enter into an agreement perform certain act or mutually agreed terms and conditions. These casts upon each other certain duties and responsibilities. Sir William Anson defines contract as: a contract is an agreement enforceable by law made between two or more persons, for whom rights are required by one or more to act or forbearance on the part of the other or others. Salmon defines contract as: a contract is an agreement creating and defining the obligation between the parties. Sir Frederick Pollock defines contract as: every agreement and promise enforceable at law is a contract. Indian Contract Act defines contract under Section 2H, which provides that a contract is an agreement enforceable by law. Thus, a contract is an agreement made between two or more parties which the law will enforce. This means only those acts can be treated as contracts which has force of law. The above definition defines that a contract consists of two elements. They are agreement and its enforceability by law. Now friends, let us discuss what is an agreement. An agreement is defined under Section 2E of Contract Act, which says that every promise and set of promises form consideration for each other. When a proposal is accepted, it becomes a promise. Thus, an agreement is an accepted proposal. Therefore, in order to form an agreement, there must be a proposal or offer by one party and acceptance by the other. That can be treated as an agreement. In short, agreement is a proposal plus acceptance. For example, A agrees to pay ₹100 to B and B agrees to give him a book which is priced at ₹100. This is a set of promise which forms consideration for each other. However, if A agrees to pay ₹100 to B, but B does not promise anything, it is not a set of promise forming consideration for each other and hence not an agreement. Thus, the term agreement in Contract Act requires mutual consideration. The second part of the definition deals with enforceability by law. An agreement is enforceable under Section 10 of Indian Contract Act. Section 10 says, the parties to contract must be competent out of their free consent and for lawful object and consideration. According to this section, agreement is a contract which is made for consideration between parties who are competent with their free consent and for a lawful object and are not expressly declared to be void. Any obligation which is not enforceable by the law is not regarded as a contract. Social, moral, or religious agreements do not create any legal obligation. For a valid contract, parties should have an intention to create legal relationship. This intention can be inferred from the facts of the case. For example, an agreement to have a dinner together or to go for a picnic is not a contract because it does not create a duty enforceable by law. Such agreements are purely of a social nature and there is no intention to create a relationship. Thus, we can say all the agreements are not contracts. Only that agreement which fulfills the conditions of Section 10 can be enforceable by the law is a contract.